And we are back for another episode of the On The Go podcast. I'm your host, James Jackson, and the guy that's sitting across from me, Jacob Batone. Jacob, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, nothing much. You know, it's Friday.
Yep, Friday, Pop Culture Friday.
Pop Culture Friday. Not the official name, but that's
Yeah,
the
right?
name we're
It's just
running
the name
with
that we're
right
running
now.
with right now.
We're still having a hard time naming the Friday episodes. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think Monday we hit that. I mean, you texted me one night. You told me what you wanted to run with, and I was like, "Oh, that's perfect."
Yeah,
I like that idea.
I
Weekend report.
I think the Fridays are harder because all the cool Friday names are taken.
It's taken.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's just coming up with a nice sounding name for the Fridays.
I mean, pop culture doesn't sound bad,
No.
but I feel like something we can come up with a little bit better.
Yeah, Pop Culture Friday is like a Chat GPT, name. We're better than that. We're better than the robots, James.
way better than that. Way better than that. So yeah. So everything's been good, man.
Yeah, man, everything's been good. You know what? We abandoned King of the Hill.
I'm good. I'm happy on that one.
I still want to bring us back to King of the Hill because I do want to finish it. It's integrity, James. You got to have integrity in this world.
I hear you, buddy.
Otherwise, what do you got? You know.
Yeah.
So I wanna finish King of the Hill, but as I said on Monday, we watched some Medea movies over the weekend, and in our searches for the different Medea movies, we came across this show called The Great North.
Oh yeah, I heard of it. I don't think I saw it though.
It's on Fox. I think it's by the same people who did Bob's Burgers, or at least it's that same animation style.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's kind of got that same vibe. So we ended up we started watching that, and it's a good show. It's funny.
is.
It's funny. It's enjoyable. It's not like Bob's. It's on that same weirdness,
Has the same humor.
right? But it's a little bit more fun from Khadijah, because Khadijah's seen all the Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
Bob's Burgers is like her thing, and from what she told me, she said I like this more because Bob's Burgers sometimes gets a little sad because there are just episodes where like Bob can't pay his rent.
Yep.
Bob's worried about the health inspector. You know, it's a little too real sometimes on Bob's
It's very
Burgers.
real on Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. But Great North is just like this family. They live in Alaska, and they're living in Alaska. Like there's shenanigans going on, but it's not like we're gonna lose the house.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
But how much you
Living
want to
life.
bet they're gonna probably get some more episodes like that though?
I mean, potentially.
Potentially, because you can only do so much with
You're right.
a family living out in Alaska.
You're right. It's going on 4 seasons. I think the 4th season is coming out currently, so we'll see. We're on season 2, almost on season 3
I'm
now.
gonna check it out.
It's a good show. It's fun.
4th season, huh?
Yeah, it's been going on for a little bit. It's funny because the girl, one of the girl characters, the daughter in the show, she talks to Alanis Morissette in the
nice.
sky because she's made out of like the Aurora Borealis lights.
Yeah.
And it's actually Alanis Morissette. That's a gig that Alanis
that's
Morissette
cool.
has. It's like she just comes on the show and
Oh, that's dope.
yeah, it's kind of funny. It's also just really random because
Yeah.
Alanis Morissette, like big 90s icon.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, if you're somebody of 19 years old,
Yeah.
you do not know who Alanis Morissette is.
Yeah.
But Alanis Morissette, I liked her. She was kind of hot too back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Still
And-
is.
And she looks exactly like God. If you know where that reference is from.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I guarantee the young people didn't.
No, they don't.
they
But
didn't catch that.
people our age,
Yeah.
you're out there. You know what that's from.
So that's all you guys did? Watch the Great North?
Yeah, man. That's all we primarily did. I
and
started
King
watching
Hill?
Ted as well.
Okay.
Started watching Ted finally, and it's not really worth like a full review segment. But the only thing I have to say about Ted is if you like Family Guy, you're gonna like Ted. It's very much Family Guy. I mean, it's the closest thing to a live action Family Guy you're gonna get because they do the establishing shots like Family Guy does, which I mean that's just a parody of old
Well, Ted did the
shows
same
anyway.
thing. Ted the movie did that too.
You're right, but
Yeah.
it's more of that, and some of the jokes or a bunch of the jokes are just really kind of funny.
The
It's-
Flash Gordon thing.
they reference that, but that's not a big part of the movie at all. But there's so many things. There's an episode where, of course, there's a school bully, right?
Without giving away spoilers.
Without giving away spoilers, there's an episode where they find out the school bully, his dad left when the bully was like a baby or even not even born yet. So they called the bully up pretending to be the dad.
Oh, it's like Simpsons.
It's such a mess.
Yeah,
It's a messed up concept, but it goes a different direction.
Yeah.
It goes a
I
different
kind of
direction.
know how.
And
I kind of know how
funny.
it ends. I kind of know how that. I'm not gonna say this. I know how. I think I know how it ends.
Yeah.
I think I know how that ends.
But that's a funny and silly episode. It's good.
Okay.
It's fun if you like stupid humor, and it's like Family Guy humor, but not quite the same as Family Guy.
Okay.
Because Family Guy is Family Guy. But
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the big things. I've been just been doing that. Been reading some mangas, and I got another manga for me to review later. And yeah, man, that's pretty much all going on in my world in the pop culture ways. What about you? You see anything new recently? Watch
nope.
anything old?
Nah, not really. But I got some news for you. Some James Gunn news.
Oh yeah, you want to get into
daily
that?
fixture? Yeah, he's a daily fixture to us. They found the cast for Supergirl. So they've been trying to cast this thing for Supergirl for like the past month now.
For a while.
Yeah, sadly enough, they got a cast for Supergirl, but they haven't got a cast for Fantastic Four.
I know,
but I digress. So the young lady who's playing her is Millie Alcock. Now I never watched Game of Thrones. I never watched House of Dragon, so I don't know anything about this young lady.
Right.
All I can go off is just looks, and from what I've seen, pictures of her, she's a very pretty young lady. And I've been seeing a lot of stuff on the internet talking about how she's ugly. She's an ugly duckling. She doesn't look like Supergirl. She doesn't have any muscles, as if she can't get any muscles. I was like,
right, like Warner Brothers isn't gonna pay her to like get on a workout regimen.
Exactly.
Look at the guy from Eternals.
Yeah.
Or anybody in the MCU, really.
Yeah.
Anybody who was like some scrawny person, and then they got on some MCU workout regimen. You don't think Warner Brothers has that kind of money? Well,
man,
but
she's okay.
They can invest.
She's gonna be just fine. I was like, all these people that's just bashing this young lady for playing Supergirl. At first, Supergirl was played by Sasha Calle in the Flash movie. Did you like Sasha Calle?
From what I've seen of her in Supergirl, I think she did it well. It's just she got kind of shafted, right?
No, I'm talking about in the Flash movie.
Oh, that chick.
Yeah, Sasha Calle.
Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of the.
You're thinking about the other girl from the TV show.
I totally forgot about her.
No.
I watched one episode of Supergirl, and unfortunately, the first season of Supergirl wasn't that great.
Yeah, no, hell no.
It was still around that time when they were just beating you over the head with like the wokeism stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, the writing's gotten much better where they make it fit. But yeah, that first season of Supergirl was.
Trust me, we could do a whole podcast.
Kind of harsh.
That whole Supergirl. Sasha Calle was a good Supergirl in Flash. I really, really liked her.
Yeah, I do remember because she co-starred on Flash a couple episodes. Like they would do crossover episodes.
Sasha Calle?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the movie Flash. The young lady.
That's who I was talking about. Why are you switching up things?
No, because you said about she co-starred. You said she co-starred.
Well, you said Sasha Calle.
Yeah, Sasha Calle.
Yeah.
She is the young lady from the Flash movie with Ezra Miller.
I thought you just said she was on the Flash TV show.
No, I'm talking about the Flash movie. The Flash movie. Yes. Supergirl, it was in the Flash movie.
I swear you said her name for both things.
No. I said Supergirl from the Flash movie. You said from the Flash TV show. I was like, no, I ain't talking about that one. He said she co-starred. I was like, absolutely not.
What?
Sasha Calle. She had black hair.
That's who I was starting to talk about. And then you said no, from the Flash show.
Well, you said co-starred. You said, you said she got shafted. And I was like, oh, he's talking about the TV show.
No, I was talking about the movie.
Oh, okay. We're back on track. We're back on track.
What?
That's fine. We're back on track, people. We're back on track.
What are we in the Phantom Zone?
So how did she get shafted to you?
Oh, well, because first of all, that movie was kind of a mess at the end of it, right? The reshoots and all the stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's only in it for a little bit. And that's all we get to see of her ever again. Like she's not going to be Supergirl ever again. Obviously, they just recasted her. So I feel like her as an actor in the DCU was unfortunately just short lived.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I feel like we could have seen some good stuff from her. I think she was supposed to be in Batgirl, or I feel like she was supposed to be in Batgirl.
I think so.
I think there was something.
They were supposed to be like a trinity between her, Wonder Woman, and Batgirl.
Yeah.
They were supposed to fill out the new Justice League.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I do feel sorry for her. Man, I think she'll be fine. I think she'll find some more work eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the young lady but I also understand from James Gunn's standpoint, he wants to do his own cast, and he should be able to be allowed to do that. He wants to restructure what he wants to restructure. So I have no problem with that. I think people need to give this young lady a chance. If you have never seen her act, and if you've never seen Game of Thrones, you don't have the right to complain about anything. Just shut up until the movie comes out. And now,
what it is, James, is kind of what we mentioned on Monday, where there's so many other real things for people to be angry about.
Yeah.
And this is just them turning that anger to something else. You know what I mean? It's not really coming from a place of hatred for this person. It's just like they're mad at other things.
Because you don't know who this person is.
And this is their outlet for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I see it all the time. It's
if I never told you who Millie Alcock was, you would have never even known. So how did you get mad at her if you never even seen her before?
I mean, honestly, she's got a Supergirl face.
She does have a Supergirl face. And for the story that James Gunn wants to do, the Tom King book, The Woman of Tomorrow, she's perfect for that world movie that he wants to do.
Yeah.
Now the question I have, and I will say I'm very, very weary of, is how can you do a movie and cast a Supergirl but not cast a director? Now that part we should all be questioning.
Well, I mean, James Gunn's a director now, isn't he?
But he's director of Superman Legacy.
He's directing Superman Legacy, but what's to say he can't direct this one?
Now, if he's doing that, cool. But he has not come out and said that. But they said allegedly it was supposed to come out, this movie supposed to start filming in the fall of 2024. So you can't do both. You can't do this and do Superman Legacy. And
unless he's trying to be like the Marvel's director.
Oh no. Don't do that.
That's how you want to start off your franchise.
Yes. You don't want to do that. So there is cause for pause on that part, because I'm definitely worried about that. I was like, you need a director.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many movies that you ever watched or ever saw that cast the cast, but don't have a director to it. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't really heard, because normally the director should be part of the casting process.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, but James Gunn, he's front and center on all these projects. So I don't know. He might have just made that decision before he got his director.
Now that part I'm worried about.
Which it could still work out, because if he sees something in Millie Alcock that, hey, I want this girl before I find my director, then he might have just jumped on the opportunity, right? Because he could be interviewing directors as we speak.
True.
But what does Millie Alcock have coming up that he needed to grab her so soon?
You got a point. That's the point that no one has really made. So that you do bring up a good point. And I have heard they supposed to choose James Gunn's supposed to choose a director within the next month.
According to IMDb from about 2 hours ago, Matthew Vaughn says he wants to direct Supergirl movie. I'm reading the whole article here.
How do you feel about Matthew Vaughn? See, this is about to explode into another conversation.
Oh yeah, so in the aftermath of casting Millie Alcock, it says Matthew Vaughn wants to direct Supergirl. Matthew Vaughn, I like Matthew Vaughn.
Do you like his Kingsman movies?
He does the Kingsman movies. The only one that was kind of mad was the third one they did, and that's because they went with the prequel route.
Mm-hmm.
Although it did have a pretty good twist in it, I will say. But Argyle's coming out relatively soon this week, I believe. So I'm interested to see how that pulls.
How that pulls through?
Yeah, how that pulls through. I think he could do it. It's just he can't do it the way Matthew Vaughn does those movies. You know what I mean?
It'll be stylistic.
Although it could be pretty cool if you do like a Kingsman style superhero movie about with superheroes.
Because it's going to be in space the entire time. Because the story takes place in space.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that.
is the whole story takes place that whole time. I do recommend people read it because I have read it and it's pretty good. I do recommend you read it too as well. Yeah, Woman of Tomorrow, and
So is this going to be about her kind of getting lost on the way to Earth? Because that happens, right? Like they send her first, and then she gets in some kind of weird time portal thing, or some shenanigans happens.
Well, no, this is her just about discovering herself as a person, and also has to protect a young lady. And it's very depressing. It's very emotional. It's very dark, and it's something different that we haven't really seen before. So I wouldn't mind seeing this if this is truly going to be adapted to the movie screen. Now, sometimes they might extract different things from the story and just put it in the movie.
I don't think they're going to go for all that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go for all that either, but I can see them going for a Guardians of the Galaxy type route with it, but not all
Maybe
the way.
not so much, yeah.
Not so much.
Maybe like a Guardians 3 with the more emotional stuff, less the Guardians stuff.
You go.
Yeah.
There you go. See, now you're cooking. Now you're cooking. Yeah.
I don't see them doing her protecting the girl, because I think those types of movies kind of irks people.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
where you have the adult and then there's the child, they have to watch over, and the child just does dumb stuff.
Kind of like Obi-Wan.
like Obi-Wan or like that 65 movie.
65, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't think they would go that route.
They probably won't. You're probably right.
I mean, if you do like a space movie of self-discovery or whatever, and kind of do what they probably should have done with Captain Marvel in a way, right?
Yeah.
With her backstory from the Marvels.
Yeah, it's true.
You could probably adapt that in some way. Maybe you could probably throw in some other villains, Darkseid. You can have
Lobo.
her run into Darkseid or Lobo. Lobo would be great. Jason Momoa really wants to come back as Lobo.
I know, right? So he'd be perfect for a movie like this.
Yeah, and there was some interview he was saying where when they first casted him as Aquaman, they told him he was going to be casted in a DC thing, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Lobo," and they go, "No, you're Aquaman," and he goes, "What?"
Yeah. Well, they don't want to give it away.
So I think he really wants to play Lobo. So that would be kind of a cool
That would be cool
villain to put in this movie.
So how do you feel about her not seeing any of her work before? Does she at least have the look to you?
I think she has a look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll have to see her in a costume and all that stuff. But I mean, look,
Which
blonde white girl.
Which I did hear she did an audition and she had the costume on from the old school Supergirl
cool.
from back in the day. And I was like, oh man, that's nice.
Yeah.
Which I hate that movie. Never got off. Have you saw the old school Supergirl movie?
No.
Oof, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
I think I've seen someone like do a breakdown of it before.
Helen Slater played with Supergirl, who was beautiful, by the way. She was so beautiful, and it never took off properly. So hopefully, this movie will be able to kind of bring back the mystique of Supergirl. I'm just looking for a good super everything next year, man. I'm gonna be buying Superman stuff left and right, Superman shirts and everything. Yeah, man, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for what James Gunn's got going. I love the casting that he's been putting forth, the direction of it. I know certain people out there though haven't liked it. Grace Randolph, but I've liked it. I've liked it a lot. Grace Randolph can't stand anything that James Gunn has done. I was like, why do you still report on it? Like, I don't understand. If you don't like anything that he's been doing casting wise, I understand. That's your job. You can do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah.
But I just feel like we already know as a general audience we're already predetermined to know what you're going to say about James Gunn. So why are you still talking about him?
Yeah, that kind of takes away the point of listening to this person, right?
That's what I'm saying. It takes away. It's like,
unless you also hate James Gunn, so you just want to listen to somebody to reinforce your hatred of James Gunn or whatever.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, you on fire today, ain't you?
Yeah,
you on fire today. You clicking on all cylinders.
But I mean, I think she could pull it off. I think
she could too. Again,
blonde white girl. She matches the Supergirl description. That's about as far as you can go with that.
If you don't like diversity, it just definitely fits you. It's comfortable for you, huh?
I mean, it's like Clark Kent, right? Like tall white guy with black hair.
Blue eyes.
That's where you start. Yeah, and then you go from there. I saw something. This is somewhat semi-related. I saw something like a headline or whatever that was talking about like J.J. Abrams is still interested in making the Black Superman movie or something.
Marvel.
Yeah, which is so bizarre to me.
I don't have a problem with that, but right now they can't take any risk.
Yeah, I mean I don't have a problem with it either, but just do the Black Superman character. Don't do the weird 50s Clark Kent.
I don't want to see that.
You're trying to do. Just do the actual Black Superman that's out there.
Have it be set in modern day and do it like that. So I don't have a problem with that, but let's establish grassroots first.
Yeah.
Before we start trying to expand the universe and doing, these other Elseworld type stories.
Yeah. That's why they're not starting with your Creature Commandos movie.
Oh, God. Don't even start on that. I love James Gunn, but I don't know why he's trying to do that.
It is cool that they are kind of still doing the Elseworlds thing. Also,
I'm cool with that.
The Batman movies are considered Elseworld stuff. Mm-hmm. Joker is considered the Elseworld stuff. So I think that's neat. Like, they're still keeping that stuff around. And I think that's how you do it. That's what Marvel should be doing instead of whatever it is they got going on.
Oh, yeah. So. Yeah, so that's all I got, man. That's all. I just wanted to share that little news information.
Cool, man.
So
I like it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
We're here. We're in the trailer park.
Mosquitoes tearing my ass up and everything.
I see there's a new trailer over there.
Yeah.
They don't mind us chilling over here. talking about these trailers.
Probably for you. You probably good. I'm my black ass. I'm in trouble.
I mean, you know, we could do this anywhere, but if you're gonna do a bit, you got to commit to the bit. You know.
True.
So okay, you want to talk about the Ghostbusters trailer? Let's start off with that one.
Okay, cool.
I didn't watch it because I don't really want to watch mini trailers past the first one nowadays.
Because they give away a lot.
It gives away a lot. But tell me what you can from the new trailer.
Well, I'm not gonna give up too much. I mean, the only synopsis is that they pretty much showing the same thing. Walter Peck from the first one. Remember Walter Peck?
Is that Paul Rudd?
No, it was the guy with the red hair and he had like a beard. He's the one that tried to get the Ghostbusters to. He didn't believe the Ghostbusters exist. You know, he believed they were frauds the entire time. He starts off the trailer.
I vaguely remember him.
Okay, well, he starts off the trailer.
Okay,
and he's like, 40 years, I haven't seen you guys in a long time. People still believe that this ghost came out the apartment. No, I still don't believe it. I was like, I don't know how could you not? But yeah, he's in there. Pretty much the same thing you saw in the first one. This is more of expanded. It's more of an expanded trailer. All the Ghostbusters are back again. Ernie Hudson, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd.
Venkman?
Yeah, Venkman. Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, wait, no, not Venkman.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. I was making a joke about the one who died.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about, what's his name? Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
And so all three of them are back. Annie Potts is back. And she's going to have a bigger role.
Yeah, I think she's one of the Ghostbusters,
She's one of the Ghostbusters.
I saw like an image of her in the suit.
In the magazine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she's back. From what I saw, Patton Oswalt's in here too as well.
Yeah, I saw him in the first trailer.
Yeah, he's in here. What it looks like for me, what they're going to do is the whole city is under this little ice age freak accident. That's not an accident. This little freak war that's going on with ice. And they're going to have a whole bunch of Ghostbusters in the film.
A whole bunch of Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Neat.
Because they're going to need a lot of help. So everyone's teaming up.
I did see someone state that this is the closest we're going to get to the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
Well, the director said that.
Because you got the kids, you got the old ones, and then Paul Rudd's going to be a Ghostbuster. The mom's going to be a Ghostbuster. Annie Potts is going to be a Ghostbuster.
And Patton Oswalt might be a Ghostbuster too as well.
I think that's really cool, though. I think that's something the Ghostbusters can
have done
use. Right. But, you know, it's an expansion. It's not just, hey, look at the 4 old guys, and then look at the new kids. It's also we're bringing in people into this thing.
If it's done right, I have no problem with it. It can go either one, two ways. It can either be Spider-Man, Far From Home. Was it No Way Home?
No Way Home.
This can either be Spider-Man, No Way Home, or this can either be Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh, jeez.
Because we've seen what happened with that. So when you add a whole bunch of people in a whole cast of people in one movie, and I'm assuming this movie's gonna be 2 hours. I'm assuming so. So if it's like an hour or something, then we're really screwed on that one. 'Cause I think the first one, Afterlife, was 2 hours. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I forget. It might have been 2 hours or so.
I think it was. I think it was 2 hours.
I don't know. I think I want to hope after Afterlife, it's gonna match it, or do just or surpass it. You know what I mean? I don't want to think they're gonna do the nostalgia thing, because they didn't really do that in Afterlife, right? They had them there, but it's because they had to. You know, it's.
I'll just say this: if you saw this last trailer, a lot of people that I thought would be excited to watch this trailer when it was really not. I was okay with it, but don't go crazy overload. Don't stop the whole movie to show us, oh, you remember this over here? Oh, you remember that over there? Oh man, you remember this from back in the day? Like, don't do that. Don't do too much of that. It's like,
yeah, I really hope they don't do that.
Yeah, I really hope they don't stop the movie for that. But I did see a lot of nostalgia stuff. Like, remember the lion from the intro? I mean, I know it's been a long time since you saw the first one.
It's the statues that came to life.
The statues that came to life. I'm like, did you really need to do that? You really didn't need to do that.
Well, didn't they do that? They did that in Afterlife, right?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. They showed also in the trailer, they showed remember the ghost in the library?
Yeah.
She's back.
Oh yeah.
I'm like
I'm watching the trailer play on silent over here, and I just saw that scene come up.
Yeah.
I noticed they brought back the little puff guys.
They brought back the puff guys again. It was all like, okay, marketing toys. I get it, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. Star Wars, huh? So I'm like, I get that stuff. But then, of course, they show Slimer at the end of the trailer, so there's more toys in marketing. I get it, whatever.
Right. Yep. Saw the Lion just now.
Yeah, so you had to do that. But it looks like it's gonna be a pretty good movie, man. Pretty good fun movie to watch. I've always been a big Ghostbuster fan since I was a kid. So
it really is like an underrated franchise. I feel like
it's underrated
because for so long it wasn't touched again, and then when they finally did make another Ghostbusters movie,
horrible.
Yeah, they messed it up by making it a complete reboot.
Yes,
and a lot of people like to say it's because they put women in it, but it's not because of that. It's
never because of that.
You honestly could have had that same cast and just change up the script a little bit and slap a 3 on the end of it.
Wow. I will say you probably could have exchanged one of those women out because I do not like
potentially, yeah,
Kristen Wiig.
No?
I do not like Melissa McCarthy, and I do not. Kate McKinnon is funny. I don't like Leslie Jones either.
Which one was Kate McKinnon? Kate McKinnon is the blonde one, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. She's the one that had like the dual guns.
She was the nutty character. I liked her.
I liked her a lot.
Her character was cool.
Yeah, I thought she was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, I could do without.
Yeah.
I understood they were going for like this SNL vibe because the other one that you had,
they were all SNL
characters, just about.
Yeah.
Because originally they wanted Eddie Murphy in there before they wanted Ernie Hudson.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so but like I said, well, I'm gonna check it out and give you guys a good review for Ghostbusters. But for right now, I really hope they're not just going out of their way to do a lot of fan service. That's what Star Wars did. And that's what killed the hell out of it.
Well, that's what the last Star Wars did.
Especially the last Star Wars.
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot with that franchise.
That's a lot with that franchise.
Yeah, they did not plan out a trilogy.
No,
which was silly enough. And then that's.
So I really hope they don't go out their way to go too much fan service. I don't mind fan service as long as it's done right, and that's always been me. I don't mind fan service. Like Scream, the last Screams have always done it correctly.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with how they did it with the Scream 6 when they ran into Jason Alexander's nephews. I think that was Jason Alexander. Yeah. Homeboy from what's that? The show? He was good. Okay, never mind. No idea. All right.
I don't watch the Scream movies.
You never saw Scream movies. Okay. All right, cool.
Not the newer ones. I think I might have seen the first one or whatever, but I'm not not big into Scream. Anyway, so I think it'll be fine. I don't think they're gonna do too much fan service outside of the normal amount of fan service.
As long as it correlates with the story.
Yeah.
If it goes along with the story, then it's good.
Yeah.
Everything is groovy.
Yeah.
But if you just stop in the whole movie just to show us this, then you're just wasting everybody's time.
Yeah, you're right. So, let's move on to the next trailer.
Mm-hmm. What you got?
Well, I want to start with Ricky Stenicki. Have you seen the trailer for this?
I've seen it vaguely. I mean, to really just give you a good synopsis on it, I can't.
All right. So Ricky Stenicki, I'm trying to see where it's coming out on. I think it might be like an Amazon thing.
Might be.
Yeah, it's an Amazon movie.
Yeah.
Ricky Stenicki is about these 3 best friends. And every time they want to do like a guy's thing or whatever, they get a call from their buddy Ricky. Mm-hmm. Ricky's got some sort of life-changing thing going on, and they got to go help him. Like his cancer came back, or his mom's dying, or his dad's dying, whatever. They're all best friends from school. Turns out Ricky Stenicki doesn't exist. Ricky Stenicki is like their reason to go hang out with each other.
Okay. And
for 25 years, they've been talking about this Ricky Stenicki guy, and nobody else, like the wives, the family, they never met him.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah. Okay. You good now? Yeah. John Cena.
Yeah. John Cena plays Ricky Stenicki, and so something comes up where like they have to go find somebody to play Ricky Stenicki. So they go to like some strip club of all places. John Cena's working there, so they hire him. Mm-hmm. And shenanigans ensue. James,
it's just shenanigans left and right.
But it looks funny. It looks good. I like it when John Cena does these non-serious roles.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. This is the type of stuff that he's good at. This is where he's A1 at. This is where he really does. Although in Peacemaker, I will say he put on probably one of his best acting jobs in that show. Yeah, and movie too.
Yeah,
but this is where he excels in comedy. So I'll probably give it a good watch one time.
I think it's worth it. It's got Zac Efron, it's got Andrew Santino and Jermaine Fowler. Those are the friend group. Yep. The only thing I have to say is I don't think those 3 guys are that close in age at all. Or if they are, they're like 5-10 years apart, which the premise is they're childhood best friends, and I get it, acting and suspense of disbelief.
It's definitely acting because I do not see those 3 people.
I don't see them hanging out
ever in life. Yeah.
But I don't know. I've seen when I watched the trailer, I was like, I'm gonna see this movie because this looks enjoyable.
It looks like a Hulu movie. I'm not gonna lie with you.
Yeah,
like
it does. It doesn't. It's a goofy comedy, but I don't know. It's just something about this guy coming into their lives, and then first of all, it works, and then he sticks around because now he's like, well, I got best friends now, and he's buddying up with one of the dude's bosses and going to the company dinners or whatever with him and giving him advice and all this stuff. And
it seems like a movie that would have been good back in the 90s, like in the late 90s or early 90s.
You know what? You are right about that.
With someone like a Steve Martin or John Candy or Jim Belushi.
But it doesn't feel as dated as some of the movies that have come out. Because there's been some movies that came out that feel the exact same way, James. Mm-hmm. But they just seem very, like the concepts and stuff in the trailers just seem very dated. Yeah. This one didn't give me that feeling. Because, like the No Hard Feelings movies. Mm. That movie came out and I was thinking, this, really, like this comes out now? Like this feels like an old concept. Or the House Party movie.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Such a dated concept. Or the You People movie. That was such a dated concept.
Oh, this movie that just came out is with Glenn Powell. Sorry, it's a romance comedy. I'm like, is
that about you?
Yeah.
Nothing About You or something about that?
Yeah, something like that.
They made like $100 million or whatever though, didn't it?
Ain't nothing else been that, brother. Ain't nothing else been that. That's the only reason why that movie been making money like that.
Because that's the only reason why I heard about it was it's been doing really well. But no, yeah, I mean, I think Ricky Stenicki will be a fun movie. And then the next movie we have up is The Monkey Man. That movie looks good.
Yeah, Penn Patel.
Yeah. Apparently he was in the original Avatar movie, the Avatar: The Last Airbender. Mm-hmm. he was one of the kids in there. That movie looks cool. What got me about this movie is they show him getting beat up a little bit. Mm-hmm. It obviously it's kind of like a John Wick-esque movie. He's kicking a lot of ass.
Pretty much.
Some not even a revenge plot. I think it's like a justice thing, right? He's just righting a bunch of wrongs or whatever. Really action-packed movie and all this stuff. But the fact that he was like getting the crap beat out of him in some of those fight segments in the trailer kind of got me hooked.
Well, it makes it more realistic to a certain extent. I mean, John Wick got his ass kicked too sometimes. Right. In the movie.
But I mean, for the most part, he's doing headshots.
He's doing headshots and stuff like that. And it's just like a movie like Equalizer. We've seen this movie. Nobody, Equalizer, John Wick, what else? What's another movie that does Silent Night?
Yeah, Silent Night. You're the Santa movie too.
Yeah,
the other
Violent Night.
Yeah, Violent Night.
We've seen this so recurring times, but
and you're right.
This does look somewhat different. Maybe this looks somewhat different.
It's got a different vibe to it, and it's just I think it's the monkey lore, the Monkey Man lore, and like what the monkey god represents and all that stuff, and it looks curious. It looks cool. It looks action packed.
And Jordan Peele's also
he's a producer.
He's a producer of it, so
he's kind of involved in it. And most things Jordan Peele's involved in, directly or indirectly, are usually pretty good.
Usually, I'm starting to question some of his stuff now.
Yeah.
But it looks interesting. I love Penn Patel and anything. I think he's a good guy. He was funny or not, he was rumored to play Mr. Fantastic at one point.
Really?
Yeah. I wouldn't have minded him. I wouldn't have minded, but I know that would have caused an uproar.
Oh yeah.
And it would have burned down the whole city of a world around here. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
So,
but yeah, that's good. Monkey Man. Yeah, I definitely can't wait to check that out. When's it come out, Monkey Man? If I had to guess, it's probably like something like springtime.
April 5th.
April 5th?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
April 5th, 2024 is when you can catch this movie in theaters.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah. And Dev Patel's character is just named Kid.
Dev Patel. I'm sorry, Dev Patel.
Dev Patel.
Yeah, I call him Ken Patel.
I couldn't remember the name, so that could have been his name.
True.
And the premise is a man's pursuit for revenge against a group of corrupt leaders who murdered his mother and take advantage of the poor and powerless.
Okay.
So yeah, like a
simple premise.
Yeah, simple but fun, which isn't bad.
That's all you can ask for.
That's all you can ask for. Let's get out of this trailer park.
That's cool.
Something we forgot to mention up top, or not up top, but the Suicide Squad. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about it for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into the Manga Minute, as I'm calling my new manga segment, Suicide Squad game.
Are you planning on buying it?
Not really, honestly. I mean, I want to play it out of curiosity, but just the fact that I know it's like this live service game, and they're going to do the seasons, and there's going to be like the battle passes and all that stuff. It really just doesn't turn me on to play it. I want to play it for the story, and I want to play it because there's a lot of things to do, especially in an open world game. I would expect there to be a lot of stuff to do, but I don't really see a lot going on in this game. It's just running and jumping and shooting, and then occasionally you fight like a Justice League member. I know a lot of people are really upset that they actually kill the Justice League in this game, which it's not really a spoiler. It's in the title.
Well, it's in the title, Jacob, but it's not how they get. It's about how they get killed. It's not that they get killed. It's how.
Right.
You know, like this is Justice League.
Yeah.
This ain't like the Avengers.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where the really big issue
and they get taken out by like Captain Boomerang or King Shark and all them, which to be fair, they are being mind controlled by Brainiac.
True.
So, you know, you can use that as a handicap. And I think that's fine. I think what the problem is they set this in the Arkhamverse.
Which was stupid.
It's stupid because we just had 4 really great games in the Arkhamverse. You set up this whole like you set up Batman the whole time and where am I going with this?
And we thought he was dead.
Yeah, we did. We thought he was dead. Well, there's a secret ending where if you do the 100%, it turns out he's not dead. He's still around. He's just using he's using Scarecrow's fear gas to amplify him. Bruce Wayne is dead, but Batman's living on in some capacity. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just it just rubs people the wrong way that this is kind of the death of the Arkhamverse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, instead of making a Superman game in the same universe or a Flash game in the same universe, like, people have been wanting.
Oh, we've wanted a Superman game for years.
And Flash as well. Like, putting them in the Arkham-style universe would be great. But instead of doing that, you did the Suicide Squad game, which is fine, but you killed them off. You killed basically this whole world because, I mean, spoilers. Alert. The way this ends is there's a whole multiverse of Brainiacs, and they got to go fight the other Brainiacs.
Yep.
Right? So I think that part just rubs people the wrong way. And for good reason. And especially because like you're doing this live service type of gameplay.
So explain to me what it was live service.
So live service, let me look it up because I don't entirely know either.
Okay. Okay. Because I don't want to speak on something I don't know.
You're right. I have an idea of what it is. What is live service gaming? A live service game is a game designed with the sole purpose of keeping people playing it for as long as possible in the hopes that those players will pay for the microtransactions.
Kind of like Fortnite or something?
Like a Fortnite.
Okay.
This is usually accomplished by making the game as engaging as possible. So yeah, it's like a Fortnite, essentially, is what they want to turn this game into. And they've already announced they're doing Joker as a DLC character. Joker's dead in the Arkhamverse.
Yeah, he's dead.
So what they're going to do is they're going to pull him from another universe where he's like a younger Joker.
I saw.
And he's not as experienced and he's not as crazy as the original Joker. So he's like working with the Suicide Squad. And honestly, his design is terrible.
Oh, I saw it. Oh, if you watch on YouTube, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
The game leaks everywhere.
Yeah, and his mode of travel is like an umbrella. I don't know. It's weird and I'm just not into it. Like if I could still rent games, I'd probably rent it before I would buy it. You know what I mean? But you can't really rent things anymore nowadays.
Now, I heard in the UK, it's selling like gangbusters out there.
Oh, yeah?
In the UK, it's selling like gangbusters. And I know from what Adam told me, our friend that we know, friend of the show, he says that it's been down 40% in America. So you might be able to find it for a used copy. Would you want to pay for a used copy of Suicide Squad?
I'd probably pay $20 for it because I mean I am curious to play it. I just don't like the live service aspect. It's the same thing they did with the Avengers game.
So you have to do you have to do that?
I don't think you have to, but at a certain point, you know, if you want to keep playing,
so you
microtransactions become a thing.
I
mean, it's not even if you want to keep playing. It's more or less like if you want to be good and if you want to get the good stuff and.
What if you just wanted to play the season, just call it a day?
I mean, you can do that.
Okay.
I think you can. I don't really know. It might. I don't know if it really requires like a network connection to play.
No,
it's odd. It's a very odd turn of events with this.
Now the game might sell its butt off just for the simple fact that people just want to see how bad it is.
Well, you're right. So negative publicity is still publicity, right? Mm-hmm. Bad press is still good press in a way.
I forgot what article I saw that from about the UK. And I was just like, Suicide Squad selling good in the UK?
Yeah.
I guess. I was like, sure. All right. But yeah, I saw the ending on some of those leaks, man.
I've only seen the Batman ending,
Oh, that was tough.
and I know people are really upset about it. And again, it's because it's the Arkham Knight Batman,
And it was
it's
Kevin
this is how,
Conroy.
and it's Kevin Conroy, and unfortunately, it was his last voice appearance.
It was not.
It's not. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
But when it first came out, people were like, "Oh, this is."
what people thought.
And to be fair, Kevin Conroy didn't expect that
No.
to be his last performance, it's not, but it could be. You know what I mean? So like Kevin Conroy didn't do this, and like this is gonna be my last time playing this character.
He's also in Crisis on Infinite Earths as well.
And Batman the Cape Crusader, whenever those come
Batman
out.
Cape Crusader, yep.
So, which they quickly came out and said after people were like, "Oh, this is the last." Yeah, it's like, "Oh no, he's still voicing Batman. We still have some voice lines and blah blah blah." But I mean, obviously, when he recorded this, it wasn't his last thing. He knew it wasn't his last thing, but to the people who played this right off the bat, it's like, "Oh, this is the last of Kevin Conroy." I just don't know why they said it in the Arkhamverse. I don't get it. I think I think Gotham Knights
This should just been
should have been the Arkhamverse. I don't know why they didn't do that.
makes a lot more sense, don't it?
Yeah, and this could have just been its own thing. Because I mean, a Suicide Squad game can be fun.
It can be.
You're playing as the villains.
I remember
Having them fight the Justice League is a fun idea.
Jake,
It's a cool idea.
I remember when this game was first announced in 2020.
I don't even remember.
During COVID.
Yeah.
It was like COVID was almost over with. DC Fandom had just came out. They announced the Batman. They had the Batman 2, the Batman trailer. They had Gotham Knights. They gave us the leaks on that. They gave us they also gave us Suicide Squad. And they played the Bombs Over Baghdad by Outkast. And people were like, they were hyped. They were like, oh my God, we're getting a Suicide Squad game.
And then we didn't see much of it.
We didn't see much of it for
time.
a long butt time. A long ass time. And I'm like, what's going on with this game?
Mm-hmm.
And now we finally getting it, and I wish we probably would never got it. I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, this looks terrible.
Apparently, it's still separated enough to where you can just tell yourself it's not the Arkhamverse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could.
And they could probably retcon it. But I think there is like a specific section where you go through all the Batman Arkham stuff. Like there's a statue of the Titan Joker from the first Arkham Asylum game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's a area you can just avoid while playing, or if it's like a secret area. I really don't know much.
Jesus,
and
man.
like I said, if
everybody's got the Justice League costumes on, Harley Quinn dressed up like Wonder Woman.
Well, that's the thing is like I think the costumes are downloadable, but you have to buy them.
You got to buy them, yeah.
And that's where the live service part comes in. So costumes or guns or whatever is where you're gonna have to put money in. Characters, you're gonna have to put money in the Joker character, or like eventually they'll probably add Deathstroke. I think everyone assumes they're gonna add Deathstroke, maybe a Katana, any of your brawler shooter characters from the Suicide Squad. Maybe it could even potentially a Mr. Freeze or Captain Cold. Probably Captain Cold more than anything.
Yeah, more.
But
probably.
I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see if they correct it or what happens. With
let me ask you this: what do you think about Tara Strong's voice as Harley Quinn?
Is she still voicing?
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't sound that good. I'm just, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just like, it sounds very old.
No, you are right. I think
I'm just saying.
When they transitioned to her voice, it was kind of jarring. I do remember because Arkham Asylum, I think, was Arlene Sorskin still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Tara Strong took over, and then
she just sounds a whole lot different now than she did.
I mean, I'm a little used to it, so it's not as jarring.
Yeah, I guess it's just, you know what it is. I just think that age. I'm not trying to be ageism, but I'm just saying the age is caught up to her, obviously. And if you keep doing a voice for so long, it's gonna catch up to you.
Right.
Like Mark Hamill, he said he can never do Joker again because it hurt his vocal cords to keep doing that same voice all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has to keep laughing all the time. So I understand, like, you don't want to keep doing it. It puts a strain on your voice. Hell, Jaleel White got tired of playing Steve Urkel because his vocal cords couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to be ageism. I don't want anybody to think that.
But I mean, I guess she's still trying to do it.
She's still trying to do it. I said, "Lee, man, this is rough." Baby Poison Ivy, the little girl poison. I was like, what the hell?
That annoyed a lot of people too. But it made sense because if you played Arkham Knight, she spoilers again, she dies. But
design.
She's also a plant person, so
it's just the design.
The design looks bad, but I saw a scene where they introduced her character, and honestly, I didn't think her character was that bad. I thought it was pretty good as a character, but yeah, the design just.
I was like, who did this?
It looks awful.
It looks awful, Jacob. Come on, man. Oh man, That design looks terrible, man. Oh man, and then Harley has this creepy scene with Poison Ivy, but she's like, because she's expecting to see her version of Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And she's like, when she saw that, it was a very creepy scene. I was like, that's a little weird.
You've seen more than I have.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure I think it come out next week, right?
No, it's already out.
It's already out?
Yeah, I think it's already out.
Okay. I wonder what's the price on it. I want to have because I know Adam said $70, right?
Yeah, $60, $70. It's a new game, man.
I told one of my friends at work, I was like, how much you want to bet this will be in the used section? Give it another 2 weeks.
The people have already researched the returns on it. Like the number of how many people have searched how to return this game is spiking.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you will be able to buy it for you. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say buy it used, and you should buy it.
No, yeah, I mean, I'll put $20 towards it. Mm-hmm. I bought Gotham Knights for $20, and I still haven't finished that game.
I know that game was terrible. We all know about that game being terrible.
Yeah, it's fun for a little bit, and then it just gets really repetitive. And then it had potential, but I think that was also kind of like half a live service type element as well. That was
live. God, everything live service now.
That's a big thing nowadays, but a lot of gamers are getting tired of that because I want to play a game. I don't want to have to put money towards these games every time.
Like I already paid $100 and something for the game. I got to pay for this too.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man's not live.
No.
See?
No, I mean, the most it's going to have is DLC.
Which you don't really care about.
You don't have to pay for the DLC if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But I will. And honestly, the way they treated the Spider-Man games is like they would do free DLC all the time. Like for the first game, they would just give people like new suits. Like every couple months, they're like, oh, hey, we added these suits to the game. It's going to auto update. You just have them.
Oh, that's nice.
You don't have to pay. They could have easily made it like, hey, if you want to run around as Spider-Man Nowhere, $2 or whatever. But no, they added them. Now some of the DLCs came with suits, and in order to get those, you got to buy the DLC. But that also got you a whole 3 hours extra story to play and side missions and all kinds of stuff with it. So it was still worth it.
So what you're trying to say is Rocksteady's out here pimping people for money. Pimping people.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, that's what a lot of people are upset about, right? Because it's like, really, Rocksteady, you went this way. Like, you had such a great franchise, and this is the direction you went with it. That's what gets people the most. It's not the fact that they made them kill the Justice League. On the surface, you could say that, but deep down, it's like, wow, you really followed through with this. Yeah, you really went this far, and you made these decisions, Rocksteady. This was. Board members got together to talk about this kind of
kill the people that are the mainframe superheroes. Let's kill them.
I'm not mad about that. I think that's a cool story. I just don't do it in the Arkhamverse.
Yeah, don't do it in the Arkhamverse.
You could have done your own universe. Yeah, it's weird.
It's just it's just so sad.
Yeah, I'm not mad about them killing the Justice League because it's a game. It's whatever. And I mean, they're of course like how they're gonna kill the Justice League is gonna be a little silly because, I mean, none of them would be able to kill Superman. You know what I mean?
Killing Batman on the park bench.
Yeah, killing Batman the way they did. I mean, it's very personal for Harley, so I guess like you get a couple points there. But
bullet to the head. I was like, that's it, huh?
Hey.
And what makes it even more sad is like if you listen to it, it clarifies it's definitely from the Arkham universe because she points out his name, Bruce Wayne. I was like, oh, God.
Yep. I think she quotes him from one of the earlier Arkham games. And
so it's like, you can't deny it's not. You can't deny it's not. It's like, that's him.
Yeah. But, again, if it gets down to $20, I might buy it sometime and play it. But not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon.
No.
Not if somebody bought it for you. If somebody bought it for you, would you play it?
If somebody bought it for me, yeah.
Joe, if you're listening, buy Suicide Squad so Jacob can play it.
Yeah.
And then that way we can review it. He can review it for us.
Oh, man. So I'm workshopping a name for it. I think the easiest name for this would be the Manga Minute because I'm reviewing mangas, but obviously it's not a minute, but Manga Minute sounds good, right? You get the double M's, it sounds good. So, speaking of Joel from the last segment, there's a little backstory with this book. First of all, this was a Christmas present for Khadijah. I got manga for Christmas. Joel got Khadijah and I manga for Christmas and my birthday. So that's where I'm getting like all these books from currently. And so he had bought this book, and either Joel is the best salesman or the worst salesman to exist, because he told me this book was about a bunch of Yakuza guys who messed up a job, and now in order to repay their boss or whatever, their boss makes them become a K-pop band. It was supposed to be, it's like a goofy concept, right? So I start reading this book. This book ain't about that. I was very upset.
I don't think Joel knew what he was reading.
I was very upset because I was like, oh, that sounds like a really funny story. Buy that for Khadijah and I'll read it as well. And so I start reading this damn thing. And it's not about a bunch of Yakuza guys who screw up a job and become K-pop artists. It's about a Yakuza guy who goes to a K-pop concert with the head of the Yakuza's daughter on a job, and he ends up falling in love with K-pop. Now, the name of this book is The Yakuza's Bias. It's by Teki Yatsuda. What do you know about K-pop, James?
Nothing.
Okay. K-pop is Korean pop.
Well, yeah, I know that stuff. Yeah.
So it's a huge thing nowadays. Mm-hmm. You know, Khadijah's big into it, and a lot of people are big into it. And I'm pretty sure in about 10 years, we're going to find out there's a Harvey Weinstein of K-pop, because there's like a K-pop boot camp that these kids have to go to and audition to be in these groups. Like it's really weird and sketchy. Khadijah was telling me about this documentary she watched on it, but that's a story for a different day. That's just a little backstory, in my opinion, on K-pop. But anyway, so the book's about this guy. His name's Ken, and his boss sends him with his daughter to go see a K-pop show. And at first he's kind of annoyed about being there, but then he's watching the performers, and he locks eyes with one of them. And all of a sudden it clicks. He's like, oh, all of a sudden I know why people love this. And it's because they're a group, and they perform as a group, and they perform as one. And there's a lot of honor, and there's a lot of like, you know, love for each other, like the Yakuza. He likens it to being in the Yakuza. And so it's kind of like a slice of life book. It's just every chapter is, you know, him doing something about K-pop. Like, eventually he makes his own Twitter, and he's like tweeting out this fan fiction or whatever, and all the other Yakuza members are just they're just dumbfounded. They're like, what's going on with you? Honestly, there's like one Yakuza member who I think runs off to join a K-pop band in the very beginning of the story, because he's upset that this Ken guy is so involved with the K-pop, and he wants to be noticed by Ken. So he takes off to go learn how to be a K-pop person. But it's a little funny. It's not very serious. There's not like blood and guts. There's not a lot of Yakuza things going on. It's just him being in the Yakuza and liking K-pop. And there's like a rival Yakuza gang.
Yakuza gang?
Yakuza, yeah. There's rival Yakuza gangs. You know,
okay.
That's normal. And there's this rival Yakuza guy who... So our main guy, he's looking for a trading card of one of the members. And he goes online and he sets up a trade with another fan.
Nice.
Right? So he's like, okay, cool. I'm going to be standing outside of this place with like some pins and a banner. And so he's out there with a pin and the banner. And the rival Yakuza dude comes up and he goes, well, look what we have here. And, you know, he notices he's got the K-pop stuff and he's just really confused by it. And then he ends up like leaving. He's just like, all right, well, I'm going to go figure out how to mess with you another time then. And so he goes home and he does like a bunch of research into the same K-pop group, and he ends up falling in love with the K-pop group, except like another like member. He stands another member or whatever. And so every now and then it'll cut to him, you know, doing his stuff. That's about it. It's kind of like a slice of life. There's no real story plot, right? Like every chapter is kind of
something different.
Yeah, it's kind of something different. It just follows like a loose story. And I looked it up. There's like 3 volumes of this so far.
How about that? How many volumes are it?
There's 3 so far. I don't know how long the story is going to go for, but I mean, I'm not going to continue.
I just think it's funny that Joel thought that.
Well, he bought it for Khadijah.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'm reading Khadijah's book, and I think Khadijah would enjoy it because it's got some funny moments.
But you said K-pop, so she should love it then.
Yeah, I think she'd enjoy it, and honestly, I enjoyed it as well. I'm not going to follow the story. You know what I mean? The way it's written,
That's no hard commitment to this book.
There's no hard commitment to it, and the way it's written is it ends, and you can put it down and not have to come back to it. There's not there's not like a cliffhanger. There's not like a to be continued.
So you hear that in movies? You don't have to do Dead of Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, man.
You can just end it properly.
Just end it.
Jesus.
I mean, it was enjoyable. I'd say it was pretty enjoyable. I had some good chuckles out of this.
That's good, man.
If you like K-pop, you should check it out. I think it's The Yakuza's Bias by Teki Yatsuda. There's 3 volumes of it so far. The first volume was pretty decent, but I mean, unless Khadija wants to continue reading it, I'm not going to continue reading it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll buy volumes for her, and then I'll coincide and read it as I buy them for her. But yeah, I mean, that's it. It's K-pop and the Yakuza. Have you ever seen The Way of the House Husband?
Was that anime?
It's an anime. It's on Netflix.
There you go. You lost me right there.
All right. Well, The Way of the House Husband.
You lost me when you said anime.
This book, The Yakuza's Bias, is a lot like The Way of the House Husband, but The Way of the House Husband is a little bit more funny because it's this ex-Yakuza guy he's a house husband. He got married and now he just takes care of the house, but he does everything so super seriously.
He's very kind of like Monk. Like you ever saw Monk on USA?
Yeah. We've seen Monk, and it's kind of like that, but he's so serious about everything he does, and then everybody knows he used to be in the Yakuza, so every interaction he has with somebody, they think they're about to die. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tense. But then it's like, oh, can you help me find this bread, or can you teach me? Like there was an episode where he was like trying to get taught how to like fold like flowers a certain way. That's a good show. I'd recommend watching that.
Okay.
I think you would enjoy it. Episodes aren't even long. They're like 5 or 10 minutes. Honestly, I think what they did with the show is they did a 1-to-1. So for every chapter of the manga there is, they just made an episode out of that. Okay. Like they're short, they're sweet. Like the animation on it is, they even animated it like how the comic would be.
That's nice.
So I would recommend that. And this is akin to that. So if anybody out there has seen The Way of the House Husband and likes that, you can check out this book, The Yakuza's Bias. And you'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I just won't continue it because I don't need to.
You just don't need to.
And you don't really need to. You can be a one and done. You know, if it hits the mark, it hits the mark for you. But if you want to keep reading, keep reading. That's all I gotta say. So next week I'm going to be doing a Zelda book.
Okay.
Because he also got me a Twilight Princess manga, and.
Look, Jacob, Twilight, you can keep that. Like we're not gonna do it.
Zelda,
okay,
Twilight Princess.
Okay. All right, I'm about to say
not Twilight. It's Zelda and the Twilight Princess.
Look,
no, it's one of the bigger Zelda games that have come out.
Okay,
but I guess they did a manga for it. I
don't mind that. Yeah, Zelda. I love Zelda. Okay,
and so
cool.
the reason Joel bought it for me was because at one point, Khadija and I were playing a lot of Legend of Zelda together because she had Tears of the Kingdom. Or no, she had Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So while she was playing Tears of the Kingdom, I was playing Breath of the Wild, and we have the 2 TVs. So we were dual TVing it. And it was cool because it's almost like we were playing the same game because it was set in the same world. The map was practically the same, but we were doing our own things. And it was nice for a while. And for whatever reason, Joel thought I was really big into Zelda, so he bought me that book. And I was like, Joel, I've never finished a Zelda game in my life.
Not even one on the Nintendo 64?
Yeah, no.
Damn.
I played Twilight Princess, never even finished that one.
I bet you when you played Nintendo 64 Zelda, he was still a child, wasn't he?
Yeah.
God,
You
couldn't get past him getting older.
No, I don't know. Something about Zelda games, man. I could never really finish them.
It's a niche audience. It's a very, very niche audience.
Yeah.
So I'm not. It's all good. I'm just playing with you, but yeah, it's a very niche audience.
Yeah. So, but that's the next one I'm going to be reading, and then
make a movie out of it too.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I think that's be a worse mistake.
They pulled it off with Mario.
No, just make it a show. Make it a show, a live action show, 8 episodes. Get out of there.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So, like I said, I'll be reading that next, and then there's one about the zombie apocalypse through the eyes of a cat. It seems kind of interesting. That's like a thick book. It's like 500 pages. So that's gonna need a whole lot of review on that one. So that'll be a few weeks, but yeah, man. I mean, that's all I got for that segment.
All right.
So, you got anything else you want to talk about today, sir?
That's it. We hit it all. We hit it all strong today.
All right. Well, hey, these Friday episodes, man, They're getting longer and longer. They're taking it out of us.
Yeah, it's gonna get even longer than that once these movies start rolling out, because it's been a slow January.
It has. Well, January's are always slow.
Well, January's always slow, and then February kind of starts ramping it up a little bit. Then spring break hits. Boom, we here.
Oh yeah,
that's when your movies really start coming out.
You know what I'm kind of excited for is the Super Bowl trailers. That's gonna be a whole big like trailer park episode we're gonna do on that one.
I've seen the list of movies that they got. I'm not impressed, but because nowadays they don't how they do Super Bowl commercials now. They play them like the week before.
Yeah, fair enough. But
yeah, so it kind of takes away the mystique of it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure we'll see a Joker trailer probably like a week before the Super Bowl.
I want to see that trailer.
Yeah.
I just want to see what's going on.
Oh, I'm curious
because talking about movies that aren't talking about themselves a lot.
Oh,
Joker Folie à Deux is one of them. So I'm very curious about that one.
Which trailer are you more intrigued for, Deadpool or Joker?
Joker.
Yeah, me too.
Because I feel like Joker's been in production a lot longer than Deadpool has.
It has.
So I'm very curious to see how that comes out.
I'm very curious too. You're right.
Yeah.
So they supposed to play it for the Super Bowl as well. Might get Fantastic Four update too within the week. I read about that, so we'll see.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Be cool to see. On that note, if anybody out there is also wants to let us know what Super Bowl trailers they're looking out for, you can email us at onthegopod. Why do I always say?
I don't know. What's
I
going
always
on
want to
with
say
you?
at. I always want to say at.
I don't know.
After On the Go Pod.
It's okay. It's okay. There's something going on over there.
Anyway, you can email us at onthegopod2023@gmail.com and let us know what trailer you're excited for. What kind of commercials are you excited for? Because Super Bowl usually has like a lot of over the top funny commercials.
The Doritos commercials are always the biggest.
Doritos, the Bud Light commercials are bringing back the horses.
Yeah, Pepsi.
Yeah,
and Coca-Cola.
Yeah, so
car commercials.
Let us know what you're looking forward or what you want us to cover. Even like just shoot us an email, please. And as always, you can find us on Instagram at On The Go with Jacob and James, all one word. You can find me on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio. You can find James on Instagram at
9794.
We also have a YouTube channel now, and pretty much 5 days a week we're going to be posting new episodes. We're going to be posting show segments. We got shorts going up.
And feel free to like and subscribe.
Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things you need to do to keep us in your life forever and ever and ever. And, please share, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, teach her how to use YouTube and Spotify so she can listen to us. And she might not know what we're saying, but it counts to us. We care, Grandma.
Just tell her to put that bony little finger to work.
Yeah.
The subscribe button.
Yeah. Do what James said. Use your bony little finger. Put it to work.
Yep.
But anyway, that's all we got today. So, hey, I'm on the go. James, are you on the go?
Yep, I'm all on the go, man.
We're all on the go over here. So have a great weekend, guys. We'll talk to you Monday.
All right.